all of us have ambitions and all of us have wishes that we want to do this, we want to do this in our life. In Isaiah 55 verse 8, God says, "My ways and my thoughts are much higher than your ways and your thoughts." I wanted to be a great singer. In the school, they told me that there was a school function the next day. So as I was walking home, I was thinking what song to sing for the next day. I came home and I found that my maid was not there. I went to the kitchen and I wanted to make a cup of coffee before starting to practice my singing. I lit the stove with a match. I ran outside my kitchen. We had an open space where there was water and I was very short, so I tried to get water deep from the drum, and by the time I poured, I think I was out in the open air, and so I think more air, more breeze also was contributing to my extensive burns. I was 8 years old when I met with this accident.
Today, people come from all over India and abroad to the reconstructive and plastic surgery department at CMC Vellore to be treated by the doctor, who is a burns victim herself.
I was a patient once, and today I'm head of the department in the same hospital, in the same department. That makes me feel that God has had real good plans for me. He had a purpose for my burns, and I'm a walking and talking testimony for my patients.
Prema was the first child of Rosie and Dhanraj. In 1965, they faced the biggest challenge of their lives. Immediately after the fire accident, Prema was taken to the Christian Medical College and Hospital in Vellore. By now, Prema's face was completely disfigured.
I was taken to the theatre 3 times, and all the 3 times the anesthetist could not intubate me. Finally, I was sent back to the ward. After the 3rd attempt, my mother was so upset that she came to the chapel. She prayed to God and she vowed that she would make me a doctor if God gave me a new lease of life. Miracles do happen, and as if God was just waiting for my mother to promise, the next day when I was taken to the theatre, they could intubate me, and I had my surgery for almost about 12 hours.
After obtaining her medical degree in 1980, Prema entered CMC for the first time, not as a patient but as a doctor.
When I talk to my burn patients, I think it makes so much of sense. When another doctor talks to them, they always say, "What do you understand? What I go through?" But when I say the same things, they never tell me that. They always look at me with so much of love that I am telling them the truth, and there is a life for them after that. And that's very satisfying, very rewarding for me to see my patients also turn their life and walk towards a better path. So that's the greatest way that I could glorify my Lord.
Between 1965 and 1971, Prema had more than 14 major reconstructive surgeries. The doctors had to reconstruct her lips, lower jaw, cheeks, forehead, nose, and even the area around her eyes.
My mother was very, very careful. She never kept any mirror open for 1 year for me. I never saw that. Of course, the first time I saw, I was devastated. I cried like as if there was no tomorrow for me, because I couldn't imagine the extent of burns, I always thought it was very minimal. Apart from the people's expressions when they came to see me, I always thought it was very mild. Till I really saw, and what I saw was horrifying. A lot of people who would say, "Oh, she looks like a devil," and there are people who would just run away, they would turn away their face, or they would even hide their children behind them. So what hurt me really most was that, the way they would hide their children, because I thought I am also a child.
Prema's close-knit family and friends helped Prema through those difficult years.
Rejoice in the Lord always, and when I say rejoice.
Prema's mother Rosie was her greatest motivator.
I could have died when I went to the theatre 3 times and they sent me out without intubating. But the fact that God has made it possible for me to come through the most difficult times. She said, there is something God wants me to do to glorify His name. Yes, I was very angry with the Lord because I thought, why did He choose me to get burnt? Because I was very good looking. I had a beautiful voice. And after my burns, I lost my voice because my larynx also was burnt. I never read Bible. I never went to church. I think it took a long time for me to really come to terms with myself, and probably when you're very close to God, you can't keep away from Him for too long. Gradually, I used to read Bible, and then I think I became so close to Him that I couldn't stay without God.
Today, along with her responsibilities at CMC, Prema has also started Agni Raksha, an organization to treat and help burns victims in India. God has truly lifted Prema's head high. Her achievements in the medical field has been recognized, and she has received numerous awards in India and abroad. Prema was invited by the Ethiopian and Norwegian authorities to train doctors in Ethiopia and set up the first burns unit in the country. Prema is also involved in training doctors in Kenya and Tanzania.
Earlier, when I was a small child, when I was just burnt, I know people reacted to my looks very badly. Now nobody stares at me, they look at me in a very different way. So that itself goes to prove that looks is not everything. Because God's blessings on me is so evident to the other people that when they look at me, they always say, see, she's so blessed. She's got so much. You know, she's God's child, and she's a great plastic surgeon. When I walked down the ward, plastic surgery ward, I really feel very grateful and happy that God has really blessed me so much. He's always lifted me very high, time and again proved to me that I am His child. There's no doubt about it. It is like as if He's a very close friend who you can trust and who you know that He won't let you down. Just accept whatever God has given to us. I think God has blessed me so much that my cup is just overflowing. I cannot contain it sometimes. I wouldn't mind to have another life where I can get burnt and still continue God's blessings on me. Then I don't mind to get burnt. Life is very beautiful, and I just love my life.